Hey YouTubers, it's Tony with Mayberry Mini Trucks. Today is Saturday, December 13th, 2025. And Christmas is getting close, just another well, not even 2 weeks, it's less than 2 weeks, 12 days away till Christmas. And it is such a beautiful day. Look at this. I mean, it is absolutely just magnificent. And the grass is still frozen where there is shade, but the sun has hit the rest of it and thawed it out. So today we're doing a video of a Subaru Sambar dump, which is very unusual. Subaru and Hondas infrequently come in a dump, but this is one Subaru that we got. This is the TT2, the newer version, the 1999 or 2000. And this is for a gentleman in Kentucky, Tim. So this is a video for Tim in Kentucky. And Tim saw our original video that I think, I don't know if I did it or Justin did it, but he saw it and said, hey, I think I might want that truck. We hadn't had it priced yet. We had to, well, I think we put new tires on it. So that's an example. You know, we have to go through it and make sure that we have, you know, everything addressed that needs to be addressed. And then we're able to calculate what our cost is and price the truck. So Tim is a long distance customer. So for our long distance customers, as I've said many times, but I think it bears repeating because most of you may not watch, you know, our old videos, or maybe you do, I don't know. So, but for our long distance customers, you know, they can't come here and check it out themselves in person necessarily. If they can, that's always better. There's no substitute for being here yourself in person. But we try to do a very good job for those who cannot come here of portraying the vehicle in its actual condition, in as much as that's within our ability to do. And this video is pretty much the best part of that communication process. Of course, we've answered lots of questions and told him about the truck, but there's nothing like a carefully done video. And that's what we're going to do this morning. We're going to show every scratch, every ding under the wheel housings, under the bed. Of course, on a dump, it's easy to do. You just raise the bed and really do as effective a job as we can do. And that really produces a good result, because then the customer watches that video, including a test drive where we go up a hill in fifth gear and see how it does slowly. So like I'm going to go up a steep hill in fifth gear, going like 20 miles an hour, and see what happens. That tells us a lot about the compression. And so he's going to watch that video and say, okay, I think I like it. I think I know what I'm looking at. And then we'll either bring it to him. We do deliver. It's $2.50 per mile one way. So if you're 200 miles away, I'll bring it for $500. And you don't pay for it until I show up with the truck. We've always been this way. So we're confident about our communication process. So confident that we don't need you to pay for the truck until we show up with the truck. And we only ask that you put down an amount equal to the delivery fee, which you know, for that 200-mile example, $500, he's already put down a $300 refundable deposit. So in that case, with that, you know, hypothetical, he would put down an additional $200. We do service our trucks. We use full synthetic 5W30 engine oil. Always have. Full synthetic. 80W90 gear oil for the front and rear differential, the transmission, and the transfer case. We check the brake fluid, the radiator, you know, the antifreeze in the radiator, the battery. We check to make sure that the four-wheel drive works. If any of that's off, we get it dialed in. Make sure that it has good power and runs properly at normal operating temperature. So all that said, you know, we try to run a tight ship and get it dialed in, and which is really satisfying for us and obviously good for the customer. You know, there's no substitute for doing your best. That's what it boils down to. And there was one other thing I was going to say. What was it? Well, if you would, please subscribe to our channel. Hit subscribe and then hit notification. Then you'll be notified when we get a new shipment, and which we will be getting a new shipment in shortly. In fact, we've got 8 on the way right now. I mean, like on the road from the port to here. And the mini truck business is challenging because about 30% of the time there's something about the truck that needs to be fixed. So we do service our trucks. And if you buy a truck, and let's say that you have a problem down the road, there are a mechanical machine. So let's say your alternator stops working, the battery's dead or something, then you can call us or bring us the vehicle. We service what we sell, but a lot of them are long distance, so they call, and then I get my mechanic on the line, and we do a 3-way call. Guys, I have done that lots of times because things pop up, but we usually get it resolved. So, all right, that said, please hit subscribe, notification, and thumbs up if you like the content. And with that, let's get started. All right, so this is, I know what it was. We don't charge any additional fees. So if it says, $12,800 on the windshield, that is all you pay. There's no dock fee, no prep fee, no admin fee, no take my family out to dinner tonight at a nice restaurant fee. There's no anything, no taxes, no extra tax. So if that's all you pay is the price that's on the truck. All right. So now, I do recommend you get air filters. That's important. Air filters you cannot get locally. You can get the oil filter locally, just not the air filter. They're cheap. They're $20 a piece, but they are of paramount importance. All right, so now we're going to go around the windshield, and it looks like we had a little surface rust there, and they painted that right there. Doesn't look like rust through. Here we have a ding. So you're on the highway and, a pebble hits it. We have a ding here and a ding here. Looking good coming around the windshield. These are 15-inch Walmart wipers, $3.88 a piece. Okay, now we're going to look, just standard wipers, nothing special. We're going to look across the hood for damage. And guys, this hood does not have a single ding. Now let's look at the bumper on the front. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And this pattern you see, this swirl, is factory. That is the injection molding process. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can paint that with a semi-gloss black, and it does look pretty nice. All right, so now let's go up here on the door post or door pillar and come down. And I did already show you that. Looks good. I like the rain drip guards because you can crack the window right there. A good example. You can crack the window and water doesn't get in. Gorgeous. We have one ding. That's all. Just one ding in the door right there. Brand new Yokohama Geolanders. I imported 800 of them, and this one has a set on it because that means the old tires were bad and I had to replace them. And for whatever reason, we put the nice ones on here. I mean, Yokohamas are more expensive, but hey, just like the synthetic oil, it's the way to go. Okay, now, looking up the bedside panel, boy, it's hard to tell with that water. So it's got dents in it, just waves from something being in the bed. Right there, a scratch there. But you can see that a dent there. It's just, from the inside, something rolls and knocks it and makes a dent. They're not big dents, but I can feel them. But the integrity is good. It's not rusted out. You've got surface rust on the rail here, okay? Surface rust in the bed, but it's not cancer. That's the main thing, okay? That's the big deal. And you can see they painted it with like an eggshell colored paint just to protect it. They're not hiding anything because you can see the seams. There is nothing really to hide. Now, this is a rock bed, and I'm going to tell you what that means in a moment. Now, this has dings and bruises. You can see where they touched it up, like with a Q-tip and some touch-up paint. Touched it up. But really, it looks nice. Okay. Now, this bedside panel, it doesn't look that bad, but you can see they touched it up where there was a scratch. Touched it up. But it doesn't have dents on the other side. So you can tell they probably made more left-hand turns where it would boom into that side, not so much this side. That's my theory anyway. Okay. I was going to say let's look underneath, but actually we're going to lift it up. So now touch up there, scratch there. These early morning shots are tough. There's a little bit of that eggshell paint right there where they were painting this and it got right there. Just a couple drops. This is paint splatter. So somehow on the road, some paint got splattered on there, I think. Let's keep looking here. But there's no dings on the door or the doorstep side. Let's look underneath the wheel housing, another new tire. Looks good in there. Now, another rain drip guard on this door. Let's look at the inside. All right, the interior door panel does have a pick right there. Now, let's look under the door to see if there's any rust. Nice patina, Japanese gold patina on that bolt head. Very nice. That's what we want to see. Let's lift up this floor mat. Boy, is that pretty under there, guys. Wow, that looks good. Let's look under the seat here. Beautiful. Beautiful. Toolkit. Oh, a mirror. We had to put a new mirror on. That's the old broken mirror. Sometimes the mirrors get broken off at the port. They're like $60 a piece. All right, this panel looks nice. So, again, let's see if there's any Japanese currency in here. Nope. Okay, now we're going to look under this door. Beautiful. Under the floor mat. Beautiful. That's just surface rust under there that you see where the floor mat scrubs and scuffs the paint off. So that's all that is surface rust. You know what? This seat is nice, and that's a big deal. Usually, if a seat is going to be torn, it's going to be the driver's seat. But in this case, it's beautiful. So now let's start the truck, and let's see how it runs. Now, a Subaru, you've got to... You know what I didn't do, guys? This is a 2000 Subaru Sambar dump with 13,000 1,427 miles. Beautiful. Okay, now this is your button to raise the bed, and it's a little rocker switch, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Nice little warning buzzer. Boy, that thing lifts nicely. What a massive piston. Look how beautiful that piston is. No leaks. That's a big deal. And it has been greased. Our guys at the maintenance department here did go ahead and grease it. Now, this is a safety, and it goes like that. And now, if you lower it, boom, look at that. That's the purpose of that. Okay, now let's look up here. So you can see up here, it looks nice. All we have is a little surface rust, no rust through there. All right, everything looks beautiful up there. Now let's look in the ribs. This is called seam rust. That's where the spot welds occurred. And that's really nothing, I think, worthy of mention. I'm going to put this back. But seam rust is pretty common. But guys, this is beautiful under here. That's the takeaway. Very nice. Very nice. And it looks nice under here. Here's the pump unit. Here's your fuse box right there. And you can see the spare tire under there. Very, very clean. All right, so now I'm going to let the bed back down. Okay, now let's go for a drive. So we're in two-wheel drive now. You know that because that light that just turned on there, four-wheel drive. Now I'm going to turn it back off and we're good to go. You don't ever want to drive on the asphalt in four-wheel drive. Look at this U-turn, guys. Is that crazy or what? So Mayberry Mini Trucks got the law passed in North Carolina, making mini trucks street legal. We did that. It was like Mr. Smith goes to Washington. You know, we go to Raleigh, and I educated the House and Senate transportation subcommittees, answered a barrage of questions, and helped them write the legislation, did a professional video, hired a guy to do that. And they watched the video to see why they should be street legal, and they voted on it, both the House and the Senate, and it passed. That was the amazing thing. Then I had to find a lobbyist to lobby Governor Cooper for his signature, which he acquiesced, and he did sign the legislation. So that's how they got street legal, guys. And I was just shocked that it actually worked. And that was like 6 years ago, I think. And nobody ever had done it since, but Texas recently did it. In fact, David just called me asking me if I wanted to be interviewed by somebody, which I really wasn't wanting to do. So I politely said, no, thank you, but thanks for thinking of us. Okay, so now we are going to go up this hill, and we're going to get it up to speed. Fifth gear. What a pretty, pretty day this is turning out to be. All right, so here's the power test. this is going to put the truck in a really demanding set of circumstances. Now we're going around this curve here, and we got to slow down, but I'm going to keep it in fifth gear. Now look, we slow down to like 30 kilometers, 30 kilometers per hour. Look at that, 30. Now we're still in fifth gear, going up a steep hill. And a dump weighs more than a regular mini truck. But look at the speedometer, guys. It is climbing. And that right there tells us that the engine has good horsepower. And another way of saying that is that it has good compression. And the reason is simple, because it has 13,000 and change miles on it. That's why. The cylinder walls and the piston rings are not worn. So now we're approaching 40 kilometers per hour, and we're going up a steep hill in fifth gear. And with that, we're going to stop at 40 kilometers per hour. Guys, that is a very successful test drive going up a steep hill in fifth gear at 18 miles per hour, or maybe 19 miles per hour. So, Tim in Kentucky, if you're interested in this truck, let us know. You can call us at 336-970-3885 or 336-777-9957. And guys, I really appreciate you watching our video, and I appreciate all the comments. You know, send some comments our way if you have questions, or if maybe I didn't cover something. And you know, they're always good questions, and you know, I like the feedback, and I try to do a good job answering your questions thoroughly. And anyway, I guess that's about it. I appreciate you watching our video. Have a nice day.